Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our interview series, online interviews, of course, still. And we have the honor and pleasure now to talk to the new CEO of Mawson Gold. His name is Ivan Fairhall. And yeah, welcome at the show here. Thanks for taking the time. And hello to, I think you are London today, right?
I am London today. Yeah. Thank you, Jochen. Lovely to be on board. I've watched many of your interviews, and it's nice to be in the hot seat.
Thank you very much. And yeah, let's get directly into it because for our viewers and also I think the shareholders, quite important. Who are you and what made you really then to take over the role as CEO of Mawson Gold?
Sure. Look, I'm a mechanical engineer by background, and I've spent all of my career working in the mine development space. I started out as an engineer building projects in Australia for BHP and working as a consultant down there. And then when I moved to London about 11 years ago, I took up a role as a study manager, and I was helping companies just like Mawson actually shape their project into something that's buildable and financeable. And actually, that's how I met Mike, the previous CEO, now executive chairman. And I got him out of a project on a mining project in Sweden, got him out of trouble on that, and we've stayed in contact ever since. And so, but for the last 7 years, I've been working in private equity for a fund here in London. And we literally scoured the world looking for projects, good quality projects that were buildable, financeable through the cycle, and they had exploration upside. And when we did stumble on that literal 1 in 100 or less, we worked in partnership with management to not only sort of steward the project in a direction that we thought made sense, but also help them work on the capital market strategy. And so, we were building both NAV and P and trying to make money for ourselves as a shareholder. So Mawson, for me, represents a great opportunity to take those skills that I've taken throughout my career and apply them directly. And the qualities that I've been looking for as an investor in my last role, I saw in Mawson, and that's what made it an attractive opportunity for me.
Super, great. Okay, fully understood, because we think the company has also super great potential. So if I understand that right, you are more also like a guy who brings then mining companies into production, development phase, and then into production. So that rings a little bit of a bell for me, because I could imagine Rajapalot in Finland might be the project which is the one who will be brought in production then, and that's something of some of your goals you will pursue probably.
Yeah, look, definitely. Rajapalot's a high quality mining asset in my opinion, and it is important to pause and say the strategy at the moment is twofold. It's to continue to grow the ounces. We've been very successful in the last couple of years in growing the resource 300,000-400,000 ounces equivalent per year over the last few years, and the plan is to continue to do that. But alongside that and in parallel, we want to de-risk those ounces, both the ounces we've discovered and the ounces we will discover in the next few years through engineering and permitting. And I think we have an excellent geological team on the ground in Finland and in our board, and with Mike as the executive chairman, we have a lot of geological capabilities. And what I bring is some of that more advanced stage mine development, scoping, and financing skills to the table.
Super. Okay, then let's talk about, let's say, your next steps. So what have you lined up for the company?
Sure. So the immediate next steps in Finland, for example, is we're out there at the moment doing EM work and all of the groundwork, geological groundwork ahead of what we're planning is another big drill season over the winter. And we'll continue as we have been doing our permitting and community engagement efforts. As I think you guys know, we've already kicked off the EIA process and the land use rezoning process, which are important steps in moving that project forward. Down in Australia, which we haven't spoken about yet, the drills are turning and the news releases are coming. And I think your viewers in the last day or so, you would have seen the news release out of the trenching results down in Victoria. That's 8 meters at 19.6 grams a ton gold and 0.4% antimony, and that was on an area 200 meters to the sort of east of the existing known mineralization. So we're continuing to expand that setting down there and build out what has been a great discovery down there in Victoria. Yeah.
Okay, super. So you already named Australia. I just wanted to come to that a little bit later, but that's really interesting for me. So Rajapalot in Finland will be definitely, let's say, the focus, I would call it, less as a development project now. And Sunday Creek, you have one drill rig there, I think, still turning, and you have now, as you said, those fantastic trenching results. So what do you want to do with Sunday Creek? Do you want to say, okay, that's maybe the little sister project? We keep it. We keep on moving, but all eyes on Finland? Or could you also imagine to say that you maybe put in a joint venture partner, because your grades are outstanding down in Australia?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting question, and it's one the company is asking themselves at the moment. I think what we have in Finland is a high quality mining project. We've got over 1 million ounces. That's going to continue to grow. And my personal view is that we have something that is of a scale that we can start to move forward. And so that is a meaningful thing, and it requires a focused strategy to execute upon. Victoria is a great discovery, and what we are looking at doing is find ways to best articulate value for our shareholders. That we feel that it's a little bit lost in Mawson. It's a great discovery, and it's we're massively undervalued as a company, particularly considering we've got 2 excellent projects within it. And so we're looking at ways to strategic options, essentially, to generate more value for our shareholders with that Australian asset.
Okay, super. So that all costs money, of course. So what is the status with cash in the bank? And let's say, are you financed for the next drill programs here? What's going on?
So we've got nearly $4.5 million Canadian in the bank. So we've got a decent amount of cash in the bank, and we're still planning our winter drill program. But those things will go in tandem together as we evaluate what the best way to move forward is.
Okay, super. So if I got that right from your history, you have also then several, let's call it, financing possibilities in your pocket?
Look, we will entertain all options. These junior companies, they need money to continue to explore, and we've discovery cost up in Finland that's $15 an ounce, and so exploration is a value accretive exercise. And so when you're creating value through exploration, there's lots of financing opportunities at your disposal, and it's about finding the lowest cost of capital for our existing shareholders and minimize dilution.
Absolutely. No, and I could imagine that you have quite a large Rolodex.
Well, I'd like to think so.
Fantastic, super. Ivan, thank you very much. That was a great introduction, and I have a very good feeling that we talk quite soon when you have new drill results, and we want to discuss that for sure. Thanks for taking the time. Super, thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ivan Fairhall, the new CEO of Mawson Gold, and you know the company very well. We have interviewed all the time Mike Hudson, who is now executive chairman, but he's still, of course, with the company because the company needs also his deep knowledge. But what I really like is we have a new face here, and with a super background. It's also a technical background, and for me, important is to see now we move into the development and probably then hopefully to build a mine in the future in Finland. And also I like the optionality with Australia. You saw the super high grades in the trenches. Also a drill is turning there. So lots of optionality here. And I think you can really benefit from a very low share price here at an entry point for Mawson, because this share price is definitely too cheap. So check out Mawson Gold. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Austria.